to the real world.
So when people say, what can poor me, little me do? What? You're all that exists. You can change the world because the world is you and you are the world. And this is what is happening. This is what is happening as we start to connect into a network of minds that is transforming the reality. We don't need to stockpile weapons and shoot at Henry Kissinger. We need to change the reality and think this injustice, think this control out of existence, because we've been manipulated to think it into existence. It's coming down. Now, the voice said to me, you don't need to know anything more than this. Infinite love is the only truth. Everything else is illusion. That is the only truth, because everything else comes from that. We don't like the illusion we've created, let's create another one. Infinite love is the only truth. Everything else is illusion. Thank you very much.
You think that's air you're breathing?
I think they were having conversations with each other in their minds. They weren't having a conversation here. And that there was one occasion when one of them put their hand out to the other and then realized they didn't have a hand. So the thought of, I need a hand, the hand manifested. Right? And basically what they did was they shared the same dream.
And they compare notes after.
Yeah, exactly the same. But they weren't there in awareness. They were in awareness of where they were. It wasn't even they compared notes, I suppose, when they came back out of trance. But they were there in awareness during the trance anyway. That they were both in the same place.
Oh.
But that's what consensus reality is.
Mm-hmm.
We share the same dream.
So it's like manufactured.
We share the same dream. What consensus reality has done to the collective unconscious, the manipulation of it, has locked us in to a mass dream of that kind. So we're in the same dream. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we both accept that this room exists, just as those two accepted the same beach existed.
And the wall's solid and everything.
Well, that's
wow. So if everything's an illusion, is the voice an illusion?
Well. The voice is what? It is me communicating with myself. We in this world think in words. Try thinking without words, right? And one of the reasons that George Orwell talked about newspeak and changing the language and destroying what he called old speak, in other words, the language, creating this new language, newspeak, was because as he put it in his book 1984, we think in words, and therefore if you can limit the language and limit people's ability to express in words, you limit people's ability to think. In an expanded way. Because, like I say, if you haven't got the words to express, how do you think? It's a process of this world. And so the voice is merely me decoding communications between other levels of myself into a language that this level will understand. This is what all psychic stuff is, and what we call channeling stuff. It's just thought energy being decoded by our minds, this level of our minds, into words that we can understand. So, for instance, if I had Italian going into that ayahuasca experience, that voice would have spoken to me in Italian. Because what I'm doing is speaking to myself by decoding thoughts into words, and that's all the voice is. Because it's not like some high entities communicating with me. I am that high entity. And I am this entity which is trying to work out what the hell's going on in this world through the fog. I am all levels, because we're all levels, we're all everything. And the only difference between people who have started to wake up is that they have begun to understand that they're not Bill Smith, just an ordinary man or woman in the street. They are actually all that exists. And once you start to realize that that's who we are, you see yourself and the world in a completely different light and perspective from how you did before. You thought you were Nicole or David Icke, some disconnected, independent entity that has no power because I'm just little me. So it's no wonder that this Illuminati have created a society in which we are constantly told how ordinary and how dependent and how powerless we are.
I'm curious because we've talked to a lot of people on the show who've had experiences where they've gone beyond this for a little moment in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Near-death experiences, a lot of well, Stuart Wilde said he was sucked through a wall at one point. So, have you had any experiences where you've transcended?
I would have had some guts to suck Stuart through it. I tell you. Well, not really. I go into other states of consciousness when, people talk about meditation. I just call it day drinking, sitting quietly, where there is no division between me and everything around me. But I don't get sucked through walls and all that stuff. But, of course, to many people that would sound fantastic, but of course if that's an illusion, then why can't we walk through it? Well, the reason we can't, if you remember, during that first Matrix movie, at one point they were caught in this big building, and there was a guy who tried to get out, one of the Morpheus Matrix gang, tried to get out of this building, and suddenly what had been windows or whatever was a solid brick wall, very symbolic. We build this material reality around us.
You think that's air you're breathing?
We believe in it, and therefore we create it. And in many ways, the fact that we build these apparently solid walls around us is almost an expression of the way we build these walls of belief around us. We live in these little prisons of belief, limitation, and possibility, and therefore